Hey guys, welcome back to Globe Trekker Gaming. Today we'll be moving on to part 9 of our gameplay of Suzerain. Let's get going. So in the last part we had a security briefing and they went over kind of like a whole internal uprising thing going on, plus a potentially impending war with one of the neighboring countries. So I'm still kind of a little confused about some of the different regions, so I'm just going to take a look around the map here real quick and then go and see what the next thing we have to do on in Holsword is. Let me just see what we have real quick just on this overview here. So for order, we have state security privileges. I'm not really sure what... So we have this active, I'm not really sure what's going on. So Nation of Revolt. Okay, it's kind of just saying these are going on. Diplomacy, neutrality, OMEC, and OMEC is Organization for Mokopan Economic Cooperation, and the Alliance of Nations. And situation is diplomatic pressure. Okay, so these are like negative things and positive things here. I kind of see what's going on with these different situations. So there's something about like, whoops, I didn't mean to log out here. So where's Sordland's here? Where's that other country? So Lesbia, is this? Oh yeah, Rumburg. Is that the one that's like we're kind of enemies with? Yeah, military overwhelming, relations unfriendly. Yeah, I think that's the kingdom there that we're, like, not good with. How are we doing with Agnolia here? Because I know that's the one I'm trying to build more trade with Agnolia. So, friendly, but their military is weak. What about Vagsland? Strong military, neutral relations. I think probably one thing I might... Down the road, I don't really know when I can have the opportunity to start doing diplomacy, but I feel like becoming allies with Vagsland will be good. What about Lesbia here? Lesbia, strong military, neutral, and Wayland, weak military, neutral. I feel like maybe trying to become like better allies with some of these countries around here will be better for the future. Alright, let's go back to Sordland here. Here's like that one country here, I think it was Bergia, is where they said, or Bergia, I'm not trying to say that. The one where they said like it's a kind of a special region and the governor has special powers that we might need to work on there, but it's second in population, so yeah, I'll look at that stuff a little more. Let's get kind of what we need to get to this next thing in Holsword. So it's dinner with the family at home, and I feel like something's gonna happen with it, or his family's gonna be stressing out, or something like that, because I know his family was pretty shaken up by the shooting at the inaugural ball. So after a long day, I was finally home. I thanked Serge and walked through the front gates. And even as I turned the doorknob, I could hear Deanna rushing down the stairs. I opened the door, and there she was, standing in front of me. Papa, you're home. There's my bright little daughter. I lifted Deanna up and hugged her while trying to put the keys in the tray. She was growing fast. Lifting her up was no longer as easy as it once was. How was school? Where's your mother? Oof, that's enough of it. Ask how was school. Boring. I liked my old school better. I put her down, and her expression turned serious. Are the bad men gone? There was only one bad man, and yes, he's gone. I'm gonna say that, because that kind of explains, like, more of a real thing, doesn't, like, lure into, like, a false sense of security or anything. Okay. Deanna dashed down the hallway. Monica up here next to the kitchen door. She's wearing an apron and holding a spatula. What did I tell you? No running in the house. I kind of, like, still, like... I kind of, like, respect that it's like, oh, he's still the president, but they still kind of live, like, a normal home life. Like, oh, he comes home from work, and, you know, his family's all there, and his wife's making dinner. A tantalizing smell wafted from the kitchen. Darling, you shouldn't have. What do we have a cook? I guess that kind of answers it. How was your day? And I'm hungry. When's dinner? Ask, how was your day? Terrific. I finally got to do some grocery shopping. Just like old times. You mean... Yes, Zabla. I'm sure that's probably like a Swordish food or something. I still like how, like, the First Lady can just do grocery shopping like it's normal. Like, that wouldn't be, you know, some sort of security threat. Zabla was one of my hometown specialties, a chickpea stew topped with beef, braised in tomatoes, and Bergian spices. It was absolutely my favorite dish, especially paired with kebji, a potent, unfiltered wine from my region. It's my lucky day. What's the occasion? I was gonna say that. No occasion, just want to cheer everyone up. Well, Monica seems pretty good. Her smile faded, and she lowered her voice so that Deanna wouldn't hear, especially after what happened at the ball. I'm worried, Anton, for you, the children, and the country. And Deanna suddenly appeared. Mama. Yes? I'm hungry. We'll eat in just a minute. I feel like, can you tell Frank to come down? I know Frank, like, isn't really too happy with a lot of things he has to do because he didn't want to go to the inaugural ball anyway. I feel like I'm hoping that there's some sort of decisions that can be made here. And I caught a faint hint of cigarette smoke as he was listening to loud rock and roll music. Knock on the door. There's no response. Knock on the door again. Still no response. Uh-oh, this sounds bad. Bang on the door. Uh-oh. The stereo in front. Okay, I thought something bad was going to happen to Frank there. Alright, alright. What do you want? Turn those records up louder next time, won't you? I don't think the neighbors heard. I like how it's still like they're talking about like the neighbors and everything, and he's like the president in the presidential palace. Like, I thought, you know, hand over those cigarettes. It's because his food is ready. He's stressed out. Great, I'm starving. The table was prepared, and Monica was ladling food onto the plates. Come, have a seat. Monica's cooking was delicious as ever, but I had the feeling that wasn't the reason nobody spoke. Say, do you know they refurbished the grocery store? I don't know if you remember the owner. He's been there every day. Can you imagine doing the same job? Honestly, would that really be so bad? I don't want this country to suffer under another soul. 20 years of this, I'd be dead. Why not? We could live like kings. I'm gonna say I don't want this country to suffer under another soul. Agreed, that must never happen again. Anyway, the grocer really is a nice person. He threw in some extra vegetables with my... Frank suddenly slammed his hands on the table, rattling the plates. So this is how it's gonna be? We're just gonna sit here like nothing happened? Dad, you could have been killed. Mom, you could have been killed. Any of us could have died. Deanna's lower lip started trembling. Frank, you know I never would let anything happen to you or Deanna. And what would you have us do? And yet we are all still alive. You will not raise your voice to me. I'm just gonna say that there. I know, but still. Can you just tell me if something's been done about this? My security assured me they took all the necessary steps. I'm gonna say that there. We're not even the target. But what if we were? Frank, listen. If your father says we don't need to worry, we don't need to worry. You have to trust him. Monica turned. We have to trust each other. Things calmed down a bit. Frank got up and retreated back to his room. Monica lifted Deanna up. She sat down across from me. Anton, he is still young. I know, but there's not much longer we can shield him from the ugliness of the world. That's what worries me. He has had every opportunity I never did. Why is he still acting out? I'm gonna say that. That seems like, you know, we need him to be understanding of everything, especially because he's like a teenager. He's scared, and frankly, he isn't the only one. I promise, if there is truly any threat to this family, you will be the first to know. I'm gonna say that there. Because I like the second one, but I feel like it negates the seriousness of what's going on. She got up, stood behind me, and massaged my shoulders. I sat alone and drained my glass of kebbage. Sorry, I read that wrong. Had I been lying to Frank and Deanna? Was the threat to my family truly over? Time would tell. Yeah, I kind of have a feeling that one wouldn't really... It would set more of the whole, like, backstory there, but I realized, like, you know, that wouldn't really have too much going on there. So, hoping more action in the next part, but I think that does set a good background there. So, thank you guys for watching, and I believe we're moving on to part 10 next, so stay tuned.